What's going on, guys? Back with another film breakdown. The Detroit Pistons just played their first game of the season. It was their home opener against the Indiana Pacers. They played a really good game and then fell apart in the fourth quarter. And kind of fell behind, ended up losing this game in heartbreaking fashion. A lot of fans upset. I wanted to go through why I believe the Pistons lost in that fourth quarter and just go through what happened in that fourth quarter that caused the Pistons to fall to the Indiana Pacers. So, real quickly, a lot of people are going to focus on the offense. I don't think the offense was the biggest issue. I understand they scored 19 points in the fourth quarter, but the Indiana Pacers scored 66 points in the second half. They were on pace for 132 points. The reason why the Pistons were winning in the first half, they were doing a good job defensively holding down an incredible Indiana offense. In the second half, that just fell apart, and the Pistons weren't going to be able to go blow for blow offensively every possession with an Indiana Pacers team. So, with that said, I wanted to talk about what I believe really lost the Pistons the game and some plays that I thought really hurt them. So this is the first play, and I did not slow down these plays because there's a lot of them, and if I slowed them down, it would be a way longer video. So this one, you're going to see Jaden Ivey's on offense. He takes a pull-up jumper. He was making them all preseason. I don't really have a problem with him taking the pull-up jumper. That's not the issue here. So what's going to happen here is TJ McConnell, early in the clock. Going to get the Miles Turner gets the rebound and gives it to TJ McConnell. He's going to get early in the clock, immediately attack Jaden Ivey, get all the way to the basket. That happened within the first 5 seconds of the shot clock. The Pacers last year were ranked first in the NBA in shots taken within the first 9 seconds of the shot clock. You cannot allow them to get up and down the court like this on you. You're just going to fall behind and they're going to score points. And the Pistons did a decent job of this in the first half, but in the fourth quarter it just fell away. Jaden Ivey has to turn around and stop TJ McConnell, stop the ball. Can't let him get all the way to the rim like that easily. So that's the first thing. TJ McConnell in the first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, by the way, shredded the Pistons. Had 8 points, I believe 2 assists. He just shredded them. Here's another TJ McConnell clip right here. He's bringing it up. Jaden Ivey meets him up. They do an immediate chase and go. So a chase and go, you throw the ball. He threw the ball to Obi Toppin, and then he immediately chased the ball. So it's kind of like a DHO, but he just chases it, and then Obi Toppin immediately gives it right back to him. TJ McConnell runs right around. Simone Fontecchio's not there to meet him on the other side, and TJ McConnell gets another wide open layup at the rim. Just too easy at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Just easy buckets for TJ McConnell. He completely turned the tide for the Pacers at the beginning of this fourth quarter. Just all defensive plays. This time you're going to come down here. You see the Pacers are running a little bit of some Spain pick and roll. You got Miles Turner rolling to the basket. I believe that's Tyrese Halliburton setting the back screen on his guy. He's going to then pop out here. You're going to see Nembhard drive all the way to the basket. So right here, you got Hardaway got shoved off, and Stu is kind of coming over to defend the driver. Cade, if you see on the weak side here, he's tagging down on Miles Turner to take away the roll. But I kind of feel like Cade's tagging down a little bit lazily, and I don't know if you really needed the tag down here. I feel like Stu's in somewhat good position here to where I don't feel like Turner would have gotten an easy bucket at the rim. I don't know if that passing angle was really even open for Nembhard here, but Cade tags down pretty aggressively. I don't think he did it very aggressive, I think he did it pretty lazily. So they're going to kick out to Benedict Mathurin in the corner for a three here. Cade gets a decent contest, but he's up. He gets a clean look for himself. Benedict Mathurin, and now he gets a three. So that's another play right here that I think that fell on the defense, and I don't think Cade really needed to tag down here. He just gave up a clean look for Benedict Mathurin, who had 14 points in the fourth quarter and just exploded on the Pistons within the fourth quarter. Again, they did a good job defensively on him throughout the first three quarters. Fourth quarter comes, he blows up. Main reason why they lost. So here you're going to see what I believe to be the turning point of the game. It's a 1-point game here. Indiana's then hit the Pistons with about 3 jabs, and the Pistons had a chance right here to give their right hook. Instead of staying down the ground, they swung back right here. Tyrese Halliburton's going to drive to the rim. Malik Beasley forces a pickup. Cade plays the passing lane, gets a big steal in the passing lanes, immediately pushes up the floor. Doesn't play slow, immediately tries to take advantage of the numbers, loses Pascal Siakam, drops him to the floor, hits it ahead to Tobias Harris right here, and one, Tobias Harris, or at least we thought. It was originally an and one. Crowd goes crazy. Incredible play by Cade. Good and one from Tobias Harris, but Rick Carlisle challenges it. It turns over to a charging foul instead, and I thought this was the turning point in the fourth quarter. All that momentum the Pistons picked up right here. Their right hook back to the Pacers after the Pacers have been hitting them with punches. They fought back. This was the momentum shifter, and it was taken away from them. I think this was the turning point really in the fourth quarter. So here you're going to see Cade run a high pick and roll with Isaiah Stewart. This is just one of the offensive plays I wanted to point out. Cade shot 1 of 5 in this fourth quarter for the Detroit Pistons. I didn't put a lot of his shots in here because I thought all the shots were fine shots he was taking, so I just included one to show that he was just missing. You need Cade to be able to hit these shots. You need your best player to come through for you at the end of the game, and he needs to be able to hit shots, and he just wasn't able to do that. So Cade right here, you're going to see him get to his spot at the mid-range, the high post area. I mean, a decent contest from Nembhard, but, I mean, that's a shot that Cade hits all the time. He rises up over him. He has to hit that. All right, so you're going to see Cade drive to the basket on this one. He's going to drive all the way to the basket, force a really tough shot. This is another one. End of shot clock here is about 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He has to get all the way to the basket. Kind of a tough angle. Still, Paulie needs to finish this, but it's a really tough angle. Another missed shot here from Cade. You'd like to see them get into an earlier action and not have to go against the shot clock here. But Cade forces a tough shot here at the end of the shot clock. Tough angle around the rim. Misses it. And that's another wasted offensive possession for the Detroit Pistons. Here you're going to see the Pistons run a high pick and roll around the left wing. You're going to see that Miles Turner is playing heavily, or very high, I should say. And he's going to almost trap Cade here. Cade's going to trip, or my goodness. He's going to split, my goodness, the trap here. He's going to get all the way to the basket. And this is another offensive play where you probably would like to see Cade take another dribble towards the basket here. And Miles Turner just makes a really good defensive play. He's a really good rim protector. Cade tries to go off same foot, same hand, try to get the ball up on the rim fast. But Miles Turner still recovers from behind him. Looks like Cade had him beat. Cade thought he had a layup. Miles Turner makes a great play. You probably could argue that maybe Cade should have made this kick to Tim Hardaway Jr. in the corner here. Get an open corner three because Tyrese is kind of just like watching the ball. But I feel like Cade thought he had an open shot here. He thought he had him beat, and Miles Turner just made a great play at the rim. So there's multiple offensive possessions in a row when the Pistons thought they had a good shot and just didn't come through. Here is another defensive possession that kind of showcases part of the reason why the Pistons fell apart here. So Tyrese Halliburton's going to run this pick and roll. For me, I'm switching this. I'm switching this quickly. But it seems like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris get confused on what exactly they're trying to do here. They're both going with Tyrese. So now Pascal Siakam's left wide open up here. Now, what they had been doing throughout the game on the defensive end of the floor, they would have Cade rush out here. They would have Duren rush out here. And then whoever was Pascal's man would run straight to this corner. In the first half, they were doing a real good job of rotating like this. Now, there's multiple ways you can do this rotation. You can have Tobias just try to get back out here and get a late contest and Cade stays home. You could try to have Duren stay here, Tobias run over to Bennedict Mathurin, and then Cade closes out here. There's different rotations you can do. The Pistons were executing them really well in the first half, but I think right here, THA and Tobias didn't know really what they were doing. You can see Tobias is still running back out to Pascal, like he's not anticipating having to make a rotation here. And what ends up happening, you're going to get a wide open three for the Pacers to Bennedict Mathurin. No one's there to rotate over to Miles Turner. Bennedict Mathurin gets another clean look because the Pistons have miscommunication defensively, and that's another three for Bennedict Mathurin. Here you see Jaden Ivey take a pull-up three again, or a pull-up midi. I have no issue with the shot. Jaden Ivey was making those shots in preseason. That's not the issue here. I want you to watch Jalen Duren and Miles Turner right here. They missed the shot. Tyrese immediately is going to get the ball and push. Again, like I said, Indiana likes to score and shoot the ball within the first 9 seconds of a shot clock. They like to push. Tyrese Halliburton's pushing. Look at this. Look at Pascal. Look where Pascal was. Look where Pascal was, and then watch Jalen Duren. He's behind Jalen Duren. Look who wins the race. Pascal just runs straight by him. JD is kind of jogging, not really paying attention. And then Pascal comes down. Easy dunk. Momentum all to Indiana. Those are the kind of reps you just can't have. You can't have that type of rep right there. That's all about effort and getting back on defense, and the Pistons just did not do that right there. There's no reason for Pascal to be behind JD and beat him in a sprint like that bad where he gets an easy dunk. That's another possession on the defensive end of the floor where the Pistons were falling apart. Here you're going to see Bennedict Mathurin run a pick and roll here, and this one's just another tough play from Duren. Duren's going to come up and contest the shot. He gets a good contest, but he fouls him. Didn't need to foul him. He had a good contest. It was a tough shot. Now he gives Bennedict Mathurin 3 free throws. Again, Benedict Mathurin had 5 points before the fourth quarter. He had 14 in the fourth quarter. The Pistons allowed him to just explode. Another rough play. You can't have these silly fouls, these silly mistakes against the best offensive team in basketball last year. This is another possession where the Pistons were letting Indiana get back into it. This play right here, you saw J.B. Bickerstaff right before this on the broadcast, told him to run a quick action. So Cade runs up the right side of the floor, tosses it to Malik Beasley. He then chases again. Same play Indiana ran earlier in this breakdown. He chases, handoff right back to Cade. You're going to see this is going to create an advantage for the Pistons on the weak side. Cade's going to drive. 3 guys contest him. You have JD diving down. He has Tobias wide open in the corner. You got Benedict Mathurin playing 2. Cade's going to hold in the air, try to guess where Benedict Mathurin's going. He throws it to Ivy. Ivy's going to make it an amazing quick touch pass to Tobias in the corner. They get an open 3. Just don't miss it. So the Pistons had open shots. They had good shots. They weren't making them. And then defensively, they just fell apart. Recipe for disaster. And then this play right here, I think, really just killed them. Obviously, this was the dagger. Just another miscommunication defensively for the Pistons. You're going to see them run a pick and roll here with Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam. You're going to see him dump it off to Pascal here. Now, look. Tobias is kind of, I don't know if Tobias is running drop coverage. I don't know what he's exactly doing here. But Pascal has a wide open roll to the rim, which now causes, I believe this is Jaden Ivey, to kind of rotate down and try to take that away. So now you got Malik Beasley playing 2 on the weak side. So as this goes, Pascal's going to swing this over to Benedict Mathurin. Malik Beasley tries to close out on Mathurin. He drives a closeout, forces another rotation from J.I., which then forces Cade to try to recover on Pascal, which then leaves Tyrese Halliburton wide open. You got 3 people guarding 2 over here, all because of this initial breakdown here. Watch this initial breakdown. It all stems from this right here. They don't know what coverage is happening. Tobias is kind of left in no man's land. Causes a bunch of rotations from the Pistons. Leaves a wide open Tyrese Halliburton, all because of the initial breakdown and rotation. And then Tyrese Halliburton, you give their best player a wide open shot. He drains it, closes out the Pistons, starts dancing on him at the half-court line. The Pistons didn't score very much in the half-court offensively. That is true. But they didn't do what they needed to do defensively. They fell apart defensively. And they gave up multiple easy looks to the best offensive team in basketball after doing a great job in the first half. Multiple mental breakdowns, communication errors, and bad rotations left wide open shots for Benedict Mathurin, who exploded for 14 in the fourth quarter and gave their best player a wide open shot in the fourth quarter to dagger them. That's why the Detroit Pistons lost to the Pacers. They have to stay together defensively with effort and communication, and they didn't do that in the fourth quarter.